Are you looking for the best Android TV in your budget? Well, in today's video, we break down the top 5 best Android TV. I made this list based on their price, quality, durability, and more. To find out more information about this product, you can check out the description below, and also make sure you subscribe for more reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video. The fifth product on our list is the Hisense OLED Premium U7H QLED Google 4K Smart TV. Hisense has spent the last several years pouring more resources than you'd expect to find in a QLED TV at its price range. So much so that we named it one of the best 65-inch TVs regardless of operating system or price. It includes some unexpected niceties like HDMI 2.1 ports, a 120Hz refresh rate, and a svelte frame. Most importantly, Hisense chose to hop on the QLED bandwagon, which means you should expect excellent brightness, contrast, and overall performance. It even has local dimming zones, which allow the TV to automatically and intelligently manage the brightness levels on different sections of the screen. All of these features will benefit gamers and video streamers alike, and we wouldn't expect to find them in a TV priced well under $1,000. Now, the color reproduction and contrast may not be as high as they would be on higher-end sets, but we can still recommend the U7H without reservation because it punches far above its weight. Up next in the fourth place is the TCL 65-inch Q6 QLED 4K Smart TV with Google. The 2022 model of TCL's 6 series is so good that it earned a spot in our guide, but the company has continued to defy our expectations of what to expect from a sub-$1,000 4K TV with its successor, the Q6. We'll cut to the chase. This is the TCL TV you should get unless you have really specialized needs or a very strict budget. In our tests, which included playing Nintendo Switch games and streaming native 4K content from Netflix, YouTube, and other streaming services, the Q6 couldn't have performed much better. We noticed the biggest differences when watching shows with a lot of contrast like Star Trek, Picard, in which dimly lit scenes are often punctuated with pops of light and color. We can confirm each shot from a phaser was pleasing to the eye, and details in dark, seemingly abandoned spaceships were present. The Q6 was able to show colors more accurately too. In games like the Nintendo Switch's Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, foliage looked lush, dragons looked imposing, and the depths felt isolating. Gamers who play on more powerful consoles or PCs will be able to push the Q6 and their gaming hardware to its limits thanks to the TV's 120Hz panel. Additionally, features like TCL's Game Accelerator Enhanced Gaming and Auto Game Mode with AMD FreeSync will automatically optimize the Q6 to lower latency lag for the smoothest experience. Whether you're a casual gamer or someone who spends their nights playing online titles with friends, the Q6 has you covered. We're also pleased to report that TCL's Q6 was as easy to set up as it was to use. The model we tested ran Google TV, and we could run through most of the setup process on our phone using the Google Home app, which is available on iOS and Android. It took about 10 minutes to sign into our Google account, run through the typical gauntlet of security questions, and download a software update. Similarly, Google's operating system was easy to navigate, and streaming apps loaded quickly. Shortcut buttons on the Q6's remote made opening the most common streaming apps a single button push away. We don't have any complaints with the TCL Q6's performance, but we were a little confused by the default picture setting being a low power mode. We're used to seeing normal in its place and didn't want to limit the screen's brightness for the sake of power savings. We ended up using the Q6's Smart HDR setting for the majority of our tests, which worked well for both playing games and watching videos. If you want a reliable TV that runs well and looks even better, we can't find much fault with TCL's Q6, which is competitive not only with the company's other sets, but also with what's available from TCL's competitors. The third product on our list is the Sony 55-inch 4K Ultra HD TV X85K SeriesLED Smart Google TV. There are cheaper mid-range Android TVs available, but none can match the brilliance of the X85L. It's another solid entry in a range that delivers affordable TV smarts with predictably excellent performance. The X85L is a minimalist affair with a barely there frame that puts the screen very much front and center. The blade style feet can be positioned narrow or wide, depending on where you're placing your TV and if you need room for a soundbar. Inside is Sony's X1 processor, which is very capable, especially at handling color, backlighting, detail, and motion, though it is getting on a bit. There are 4 HDMIs, 2 of which are HDMI 2.1 for gaming features like 4K 120Hz, ELM, and VRR, while auto-tone mapping lets your PS5 optimize its HDR output according to the exact model of TV. The 2.1 HDMIs also support EARC technology, where the TV can pass out lossless Dolby Atmos soundtracks over HDMI to EARC-compatible soundbars or AV receivers. These gaming features are all welcome, but some do step on each other's toes, so you'll need to fiddle around a bit to get the best gaming performance. The X85L has local dimming, which elevates it above previous TVs in the range. Contrast is given a nice boost, making a more realistic picture, and it's refreshingly free of the blooms and halos typical of local dimming systems. The screen does a decent job of soaking up reflections too, meaning you can watch on a bright day and still make out what's going on. It handles transitions between light and dark scenes very well too. In fact, it performs like a much more expensive TV than it is. Colors are another highlight. In dark scenes, it retains impressively rich saturations, while light scenes manage to look vibrant by mid-range TV standards. With both light and dark scenes, the subtlety the TV is able to render color shifts and blends is exceptional. And the motion? Even by Sony's standards, it's very good indeed for a TV of this price. Downsides: some bright highlights can lose a bit of shading information known as clipping. Occasionally, a dark scene makes the TV's dimming zones lose stability, and bright HDR scenes can look a little soft. But these are minor niggles in a sea of positives. Like its pictures, the X85L's sound is more about subtlety than aggression. It's detailed and clear, with a well-handled treble and undistorted bass. There could be a bit more low-end, but this is easily fixed by adding a soundbar. Second on our list is the Sony 42-inch 4K Ultra HD TV A90K series. Buying a sub-50-inch TV used to mean losing out on the kind of top-end features that would adorn the bigger models, but Sony, LG, and Samsung all now sell smaller versions of their flagship sets, and the 42-inch A90K doesn't disappoint. It has great sound, very good gaming features, and of course excellent picture quality, all in a package small enough to fit in most lounges. The A90K followed LG's C2 to be the second 42-inch OLED TV released. It's thicker and heavier than the C2, but more stylish, with a lower profile that can be raised to accommodate a soundbar. Around the back are 4 HDMI ports. 2 of these are specified HDMI 2.1, making it good, but not great for gamers with a soundbar and more than one console. But gamers will love the 4K 120Hz, VRR, and ELM features that these 2.1 spec sockets allow. Although despite supporting Dolby Vision, there's no Dolby Vision gaming mode. Strange. It also has the HDR10 and HLG formats of HDR on board, but not HDR10+. Dolby Atmos is on audio duties, alongside Sony's acoustic surface audio technology, which uses actuators to vibrate the whole screen to make sound. Sony's cognitive processor XR powers the TV, while Google TV provides a slick and intuitive user interface. The A90K produces a stunningly solid and deep image for a TV of this size. Sharpness and detail and exceptional objects are rendered with razor-like precision, while textures look wholly realistic. Sony handles motion like no one else in the TV business, and the results are just as impressive at this smaller size. Sony knows just how much smoothing and sharpening to deploy to make it look as realistic as possible without the dreaded soap opera effect. On the whole, the picture is balanced and natural, though at times it appears a touch subdued. It also occasionally crushes some dark detail in scenes that are otherwise quite bright. Sony's acoustic surface audio system employs actuators to vibrate the screen and create sound, effectively turning the screen into one big speaker. This allows Sony to pinpoint sound effects, so dialogue comes from characters' mouths, gunshots from the weapon's muzzle, and so on. The effect is more pronounced on bigger screens, but it still works at this size. Audio is nicely spacious, expanding far beyond the confines of the screen, detailed and dynamic. It lacks a little bass, but that's to be expected at this size and is easily fixed with a soundbar. Finally, the top product on our list is the Sony OLED 55-inch BRAVIA XR A80L Series 4K Ultra HD TV. Just when you think you've got the measure of OLED, Sony proves there's life in the old dog yet. The A80L's picture stunned us in testing, artfully blending boldness with nuance. The audio is strong for a TV, and its skill set will be good enough for most. Design-wise, the A80L does nothing new. The actuator-based sound system makes it a bit chunkier than some rivals, and it looks very much like its predecessor, the A80K. Only 2 of its 4 HDMI sockets feature the full HDMI 2.1 spec, and one of these doubles up on ear duties, leaving you just one for full-fat gaming from a console or games PC. Dolby Vision is on board for viewing content, but there's no Dolby Vision gaming. Google TV has all the major apps, while 4K upscaling is improved by the XR Clear Image Processor, which analyzes the type of content it's displaying and optimizes its settings accordingly. Some TVs go bright and bold, but lack subtlety, while others have more nuance but lack pop. The A80L combines the two abilities seamlessly. You get the full dazzle from bright lights, but skin tones never look anything but authentic. Little details like the textures within tree bark are lovingly rendered. But it has dynamism in spades, with the humongous contrast ratio painting a stark difference between light and dark. This helps give the image real depth and solidity, making it seem more lifelike and engaging. Our one complaint? SDR content could have more dark detail, but it's a tiddler of a negative in an ocean of positives. The A80L could use a bit more oomph in the bass department, but the upside is that it doesn't distort when pushed to high volumes. Overall, it's very impressive. The soundscape is spacious, but because the audio comes from the screen itself, sound effects are able to be placed with pinpoint precision. Like all TVs, it will benefit from a soundbar or surround system. But for a non-flagship, it sounds very good indeed. If you need to wait a while until you have the funds for a soundbar, the A80L's audio will tide you over nicely. Thanks for watching, and that's all for now. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Till next time.